Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be building a welding cart. I already made a mobile welding table so that way I can move it around my shop to position workpieces the way I need to. Now I need to build a mobile cart so that way I can wheel my welder with the table. I'm going to be building out of scrap that I picked up the same time as I picked up the scrap for the welding table. I believe it all came from the same place in Texas. If you haven't seen my welding table build, I'll put a link in the description so you can check that out if you want. All right, let's take a look at the materials. Here's the materials that I'm going to be using to build the cart out of. It's just standard 1/8 inch by 1.5 by 1.5 inch angle. Nothing fancy. Got this from the scrap yard. And let's take a look at the welders that I'm going to be building this for. The MIG welder is going to go on top. I use that most of the time. And I'm going to put the stick welder on the bottom. I'm going to be using the stick welder for this build because I'm actually out of gas for the MIG welder. So it's going to give me an opportunity to practice my stick welding as well as get rid of some of these 6013 rods that came with the welder. I don't have a design yet as to how I'm going to build the cart. I'm just going to kind of wing it as I go along. But I know the dimensions that I'm going to use. They're basically going to be the dimensions of the welders, so that way it fits perfectly, hopefully perfectly. And I'm going to put a place on it to keep my clamps because as you can see, my clamps, storage for my clamps isn't really optimal right now. So let's cut some metal. Okay, so I finished the two shelves that are going to be the top and the bottom. The smaller one on the left is going to hold the MIG welder on top of the cart, and the larger one on the bottom is going to hold the stick welder. Let's take a look at some of my welds. I mean, I'm not very proficient with stick. This is one of the first times I'm actually using the stick welder for a project. So here's some of my welds. They're not really that great. Some are better than others. There are some holes here and there, but I'm not finished with this yet. I'm going to re-weld some things, touch the welds up, and I'm going to go from there. Sand them down, make them look nice. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's pretty much where I'm at right now. Okay, here's the finished product. I think it came out pretty well. You can see how I put the welder on top and the bottles in the back. Also, I have storage for the clamps in the front. But right now the bottle's just held in with a bungee cord, but eventually I might put a chain on there to keep it more stable. You can see how I'm storing some of my clamps in the front. It's not meant to store all of my clamps, just some of them that I need to grab really quickly. I'm going to wait till the paint hardens up a little bit more until I put my stick welder on the bottom. I did a pretty good job of scratching up the paint already, and it's not fully hardened yet, so I'll give it a couple days. Hopefully it warms up out here. But here's the finished product. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.